Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the celiac trunk. Now, there's a lot of information here, and so there are certain, arterial structures and some of the things that we'll talk about that you want to pay special attention to because they're, tend to be more frequently asked about. Just taking a step back here, when you're talking about the arterial structure to the GI tract in general, you really have three major structures. You have the, the foregut, okay, which is kind of where we're at here, which is primarily supplied by the celiac trunk. Okay, so that's the topic of this discussion. Now, this exists up until kind of the proximal duodenum, at which point we start to transition into the midgut, which is primarily going to be supplied by the superior mesenteric artery. Okay, so you can imagine, this structure being the aorta here. Okay, so as the aorta kind of moves, descends, inferiorly here, eventually we'll have a superior mesenteric artery, and then, even kind of inferior to that, we'll have an inferior mesenteric artery as well. And this is going to supply the hindgut. Okay, and that's the inferior mesenteric artery. And so these are all coming off of the aorta kind of as you move inferiorly here. And again, the midgut is going to start, closer to the distal duodenum and then move to the proximal 2/3 of the transverse colon, and hindgut will pick it up from there and essentially supply the area around the splenic flexure, this portion of colon that would kind of be down in this area, and then the descending colon here. So the distal 1/3 descending colon, sigmoid colon is going to be supplied by the hindgut.